Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Teen Talk Central. In this week's episode, we're talking all about summer and how to turn boredom into creative projects. We're going to be focusing on how you can use summer break as a time to start creative projects, not for perfection, but for expression, confidence, and fun. And if this is something that sounds interesting to you or something that you might want to start right now, then definitely continue listening to this week's episode. Okay, hey guys, it's Mia. So let's get into this week's episode. I want to first start with our psychology behind it. I think I'm going to just start making this a completely new segment at the beginning of every episode. And I would try to list 3 different kind of psychological factors that will help benefit you and help with the topic that we're talking about. First, the flow state theory. It's essentially how getting absorbed in creative work boosts your mental health. So if you find something that you're really passionate about, then you end up feeling better about yourself because you're doing something that you actually enjoy for yourself. Next, self-determination theory. It's the role of autonomy and purpose in motivation. So kind of similar to the flow state, where if you feel like you're doing something good for yourself and you have a purpose, then it motivates you to want to do it more. Next, growth mindset. We've talked about this one a lot. It's reframing failure as part of the creative process. So instead of seeing something that you might not have done 100% as something that's bad for you, you can think of it as something that will help you improve and be better in the long run. Now let's get into the content of this episode. First, why does creativity feel hard, but why does it actually matter? I think for me, the pressure to quote-unquote be productive versus the freedom to play is something that I struggle with sometimes. I think in my head, being productive is getting all the work done that I need to get done first, and then I have time to play. And for me, like having time to play or the freedom to play is being able to watch TikTok, YouTube, hang out with friends, do the fun stuff. But I think we need to remember that we can't compare our lives to other people. I don't know about you guys, but on my TikTok, I see a lot of productive day in my lives, let's be productive together. And I definitely post stuff like that as well. But also, we always talk about this comparison is a thief of joy. So if you are doing something that you in your own mind feel is productive, but other people may not classify as productive, it doesn't really matter because you're doing it for you. And then I think being perfect is also not a thing. Remember, we have to see that nobody's perfect. And how this all ties into creativity, you might be wondering, is that I think being creative is different to a lot of different people. For example, to me, being creative is thinking about content to talk about on this podcast, or seeing what I can do in my schoolwork. And for other people, being creative might be what I can draw, what I can paint. So it sometimes feels difficult to figure out the situations, but for me, the way I spark different ideas of creativity for writing, I like to sometimes do blog posts or short stories, just write something small and then learn to expand on that. Also, visual art. I love taking photos of things. I have many cameras and I just love to photograph things. Usually the quotes that you see on the Instagram, the backgrounds of those are photos that I've taken, all of them, and I love them. You can also paint and do collages. I'm not much of a physical artist. I suck at drawing. I cannot paint to save my life, but some of my friends are really good at painting, and that's their kind of form of creativity. Next is audio and video. Obviously, I have a podcast. I like to make little mini vlogs on my TikTok. I like to make vlogs in general on my camera that I just keep for myself. That is definitely another form of creativity and expression of creativity. And then last, I feel like it's kind of a mix of DIY crafts, music, coding is even, I think, a version of creativity, journaling, stuff like that. Whatever you find interesting. Also, making TikToks and editing them is another form of creativity. I think just editing videos in general. So now, how do we actually start, right? Obviously, it's easy to say, oh, do all of these things, but I'm going to give you guys some key tips on how to start. First, you have to let go of what the final outcome is. I think sometimes people think that there's only one sort of creativity. I think for me, sometimes when I do physical paintings or drawings, I look at Van Gogh and then I look at my stuff and I'm just, oh my god, it's awful, right? But I think we have to let go of the final idea and just enjoy the process. I think the reason why some people don't end up wanting to be creative, in my opinion, is that they expect such a huge outcome for something, but when they don't achieve it, obviously you feel down about it, and that's where growth mindset kicks in. Instead of saying, oh, I cannot do it, just say, okay, maybe I wasn't perfect this time, but now I know what I need to work on, and this is what I want to do. Okay, next, blocking off time just for messy experimenting. So something that you think you want to try, just give yourself an hour to do it and see if you like it. And if you really like it, then continue it. And if you don't, maybe try it again if it's something that you actually wanted to enjoy, or just realize it's not for you. I think that's really important. And then next, if it's something that you want to, if you're already into, but you just want to kind of figure out a bit more, just do accountability, right? Ask a friend to check in on you once a week, or even set reminders on your phone if you don't want to tell a friend exactly what you're doing. I think that's really important. And also keeping a progress log. For example, when I go to the gym, I keep a progress log of, if I've hit a new PR in weights, or if I've lost another pound, or if I've lost another inch on my waist. I think that's really important. Okay, next is getting through the mid-project slump. So I think everyone deals with creative block or loss of motivation, and whenever I experience creative block, even when it comes to this podcast, I just try to focus on something completely different, and I look at other people for inspiration. I listen to a lot of other podcasts that I think benefit me. I'll actually link some in the episode description. I listen to the Hot Girl Energy podcast. I love that one. I also listen to What We Said podcast. I'll list some others in the description box down below so you guys can check them out. I love listening to these mental health and self-love podcasts as inspiration for what I want to talk about, and try to relate it more to teenagers specifically, rather than, I think, early adulthood. And I think that's really important too, just seeing what other people do and getting inspiration, but not copying. Don't copy, because that's not being creative. And I think also it's okay to leave things unfinished or restart later if you feel like that's important. I think if you realize, okay, maybe this is just not for me, and you're a quarter of the way through, it's okay to leave it. And maybe you want to come back to it in a later time, maybe you don't, and that's fine too. Because doing this creative process is also a chance for you to see if it's something that you really enjoy doing. So, as always, I have a small challenge for you guys this week. It's low stakes. Just write one poem or shoot a video, make a collage, whatever you want to do that's creative. Just try it and just start it. Maybe do it for 15, 30 minutes, maybe an hour if you're doing painting or something, and really see how much you enjoy it, and how much you can really put yourself into it. And if you enjoy it, continue doing it, and let us know how it goes in the Instagram comments, Spotify, whatever platform you're listening on. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. If you guys enjoyed it, definitely let us know. Next week, we're going to be talking about how to enjoy alone time and enjoy being alone. If you guys enjoyed this week's episode, please share it to a friend. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in next week's episode of Teen Talk Central. Bye!